really dark, but maybe you can see me. I wanted to talk to you guys about cars. I am clearly really interested in cars. I just I order a bunch of cars. Sometimes I change my mind on those cars. Sometimes I decide that I shouldn't have changed my mind and should have kept it in the first place. So I mentioned in a recent video that I was thinking about ordering another Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, I like the new design that they've come out with. I don't particularly care for the L because I don't need an L, but I do like the new design, and I think the Jeep, of all the vehicles I owned last year when it snowed, went the best. It really went really well in the snow. So, I was kind of thinking about ordering a Jeep, and I contacted 3 dealers. So I have a program, I'm in a program where I qualify for dealer pricing, 1% below invoice. So the problem is getting a dealer to honor that price is really not easy these days. I guess COVID came out and they were like, oh, we should probably just stop honoring everything because, you know, that makes sense. So when I bought the last Jeep, they wouldn't honor it. And even though they said they would up until the point that it got there, when it got there, they wouldn't honor it. And I wanted the Jeep, so I bought it. I didn't get the dealer pricing. It was kind of a stab in the back. And I expressed my grievance on their review page, but, you know. So I contacted 3 different dealers about a month ago. Asking about, you know, the possibility of ordering another Jeep with dealer pricing. And if you're not going to honor dealer pricing, I'm not going to buy it. So, like, that's where we're at. One dealer said absolutely not. They won't honor dealer pricing. Get lost. Okay, cool. Another dealer gave me a runaround, round. I kept getting calls from people that weren't even at the dealer. Like, did you share my information? So, funny little story about this. Let me just side note. Anytime that I give my information out to someone especially someone that I don't trust, like a dealer, someone that I think will probably do something with it, I give them a special email. For example, when I bought Starlink, I wasn't sure about that, so I gave them Starlink at MatthewSerta.com. And any email that came to Starlink at MatthewSerta.com was generated from them or came from them in some way. If I started getting random spam to that email, then it was because of them, because they gave out my information. That's usually how I figure things out. Each store that I go to has their own whatever at my website. And I usually make it unique so that I understand who's who and what's what. And so, and if I have the ability, I will give them a Google Voice number that I do not use. That way, if I start getting random Google Voice calls, I can usually narrow it down to who did I give my number out to recently. So, each dealer, all 3 dealers that I contacted, I gave them different numbers and different emails. And the first one told me no. The second one, I started getting calls from a Buick dealership. And they're like, oh, you want to buy a Buick? And I'm like, no, I don't want to buy a Buick. I've never even inquired about a Buick. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it just continued. Oh, we got your name. You want to buy a Buick? No, I don't want to buy a Buick. So, 99% sure that's where those came from. Sorry, got a notification there. I'm trying to get rid of it. 99% sure that's where those came from. And the dealer that I actually contacted and gave the information to never contacted, ever. Was never able to get a hold of somebody. And then, actually, funny story, I did get an email about 2 or 3 days ago from, I guess, someone at their dealership wanting to know if all my questions had been answered. And I'm just like, no one ever reached out, like, at all. And then, so, moved on to a third dealer. the one that I go to regularly all the time, take all my vehicles to for service, probably should have been my first choice, but wow, that's smart. Middle of the night, walk across the road, black clothing, not even in a crosswalk. Anyway, probably should have been my first choice, but it wasn't, because I've had bad experiences with some of their salesmen. I don't think salesmen make a dealership. I think a dealership is made up of many parts, and if they're only as strong as their weakest link, and I know that that particular dealership sucks when it comes to salesmen, so really didn't want to deal with any of them. I mean, you go to their website, I don't want to give out names, but if you go to their website and look at our team, every single one of them looks like complete shady shitheads. So like, I don't want to work with them. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try. We'll see. I don't want to give out too much information because obviously I'm not trying to blast anybody here, but let's just say that the one that I'm third choice was right here where I live in this city. Second choice was one city down east, going east. And then first choice was actually further away, much further away, toward Charlotte, east. So, yeah, third and final attempt at ordering a Jeep. I sent off the contact information. I received what looked to be an automated email. I don't think anyone actually wrote that email. Basically just saying, hey, the blank, which, yeah, it actually said blank. They didn't fill it in. The blank that you were interested in is on the lot today, and you can come by and purchase it now. And I'm just like, no, it's not, because even if you remotely had what I was looking for, you wouldn't have exactly what I was looking for. You know, the exact color, the exact options, the exact trim. It's not there. So I emailed back and I was like, hey, I don't know if this is automated or not, but no, you don't. And let's talk about ordering. Never heard back. Not even a single word. Now, yeah, I guess I'm ruining my own chances here because I'm starting that conversation with, oh, do you accept dealer pricing? Because I qualify for dealer pricing and I'm only ordering if I get dealer pricing. Which, I mean, I think is just straight to the point, you know? I mean, I'm saving you a bunch of trouble. You're saving me a bunch of trouble. We're not going to beat around the bush about this. We're going to jump straight to it. If you accept it, I'll pay cash and I'll buy it. Like that's how this works. So, that being said, 0 for 3 on trying to order the Jeep, and I decided to hang it up and call it a day. I don't need the Jeep. It was just an idea. So, I'm actually really happy with my 2 Teslas and my Super Duty truck. You know, I could see me adding something later on. I do have Rivians on order, both the R1T and the R1S. So, you know, I don't know when or if those are ever coming, but I could see me, you know, perhaps trading something I have for one of those or making room in the garage for one of those. I'm not sure. That's down the road, I guess, whenever they decide to come. So I had pretty much decided, you know, I don't need another car. I'm pretty decently happy with what I've got. You know, I could be okay with this for a while. I'll probably trade my Model X in about 3 years, just because, like, I'm not going to keep it very long after the warranty. You know, I'm going to try to fix it in case something happens. So, so yeah, I'm probably going to look to trade these in about 3 years. But other than that, you know, I'm decently happy. Oh, you really can't see me at all now. I got out of the city. So, so that brings me to the next car that I ordered. Now, I'm not actively looking for anything to order. I don't need a car. I don't, you know, I've got really nice cars, and there's no reason to order another car. I need to pay my taxes, which I am currently working on. And I need to start building my house, which is next after the taxes are paid in about a month. So, need to get started on all that. Like that, you know, time's ticking. And, yeah. So, as you know, last week was you probably don't know, but anyway, last week was the Detroit Auto Show. And I wanted to go. I just wanted to go just to see what was up, you know. I didn't need to go, and I wasn't looking for another car. but things did not align, and I had conflicting schedules. I ended up not doing either of the two plans. The other plan was to go to the RV show in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and that was the plan, and then shit came up and I had to back out. So, didn't end up going to either one, but I did watch a presentation live from Chrysler at the Detroit Auto Show, and they were announcing the final Chrysler 300, which is going to be a Chrysler 300C with a 6.4 liter Hemi engine. And, you know, when I bought my Chrysler, it was my first dream car. It was the first car I ever really wanted as like a dream car. And I got onto it in about 2012. It was everything I wanted. It was so luxury, and it was, you know, I'm all about American made. Yeah, it's not technically made in America, but whatever. It's an American company. So yeah, Chrysler 300 was my first dream car. I bought the 300C in 2018. It was a 2015 model. It was a really nice car. I drove it every day, drove it to work. I mean, it was my daily driver until last year, when I traded it, because, you know, we were getting up 80, 90,000 miles, and it was like, warranty's gone. It's probably a good time to send it down the road. So, you know, this is like the last chance I will get to own that dream car. They will not make them anymore, and unless I want to buy a used one again, which I don't really want to, I'm not going to get that opportunity to own that car again. And so, within 2 hours of them announcing it, I decided that if I was going to do it, I better do it now. Because the way things work is if you don't jump on it right away, you don't get it. And especially the way things have been lately. So I went to the website and I placed an order for a black one. And it asked me what dealer I wanted to get it at. So I went to dealer number 2 from the previous list, east of me. And I recalled that dealer number 2 shared my information with who knows who, and I started getting calls from the Buick place, and that did not work out. So I was like, you know, maybe I'd better not rely on them, because we already had a bad experience. So I went back and I placed a second order for a red one at a dealer west of me. Never dealt with them before. I had once before when we were talking trucks, because they are the truck capital. Like, they do trucks. And so I placed the order with them just to see, you know, where things go. Well, the very next day I get a call from the truck capital, and they say, you know, we don't sell very many cars, but hey, if you want to order it, we'll order it. So the very next day, we placed the order. It was in on its way. So I was like, dang, that was good. I then later found out that the Chrysler 300C sold out within 12 hours of it going live. So then I began to wonder, like, is that 12 hours worth of pre-orders? Or is that 12 hours worth of actual orders? Because it was 24 hours before we placed the order for this one. So I was really starting to think, like, I probably won't get it. Like, this is bad. Well, tonight I got an email from Chrysler saying that the black one that I had reserved was still my place in line, and that I was still on for getting it. They would just call me to complete the order at a later date. And I was like, dang, really? Like, okay, I did not know that was a thing. I didn't know, like, okay, so I guess pre-orders do hold your place in line. So there's a real possibility that I might get 2 of them. I don't know. I'm not getting all excited about that. I would love to have 2 of them. That would be freaking awesome. I'm pretty sure my mom would gladly give up the Model Y to get one of those, the black one, of course. But we'll just have to see where it goes. I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of optimistic. I probably will have to trade something like the Model Y for one of them in order to get 2, if that ends up happening. And then, you know, who knows about the Rivian situation. If that ever happens, I don't know how I'm going to afford all these cars, but you know, you order now, you think about it later. That's the rules. So anyway, that's the longshore story of all that's been going on recently in my car changes and possible changing cars. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. And hopefully it works out. And if not, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I don't need a Chrysler 300. By the way, dream cars, Chrysler 300 was the first in 2012. I really, really liked the 2015 F-150. I just liked the redesign. I was all about it. And I drove one and I was like, yep, this is me. I need this. And that slowly slipped away because, you know, I'm more about luxury than I am about utility. And so I stumbled across the Ram 1500 Limited, and I was like, yep, this is way nicer than that Ford, so I bought it instead. And then 2016, I jumped onto a new bandwagon of Tesla Model X. Bjorn Nyland got his Tesla Model X 2016. Watched every single video. I used to watch the live streams of the Nimber tasks. I mean, I loved it. It was what I wanted to do all the time, was watch Bjorn and stuff about the Tesla. So I jumped onto that one, and we're driving it right now. So I feel like I've gotten a really good. Oh, and you know, I ended up trading the Ram for a Super Duty now, which is kind of the same thing. It's still my dream. So right. So there's a real possibility I could own all three of my dream cars if this Chrysler order goes through. So it's kind of a big deal to me. And yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.